Hello and welcome to Give Yourself Some Leeway with me, your host, Eugene Lee. Over the last few weeks, I've been really focusing on what's holding you back, your thoughts and your beliefs that are holding you back from achieving your full potential, be that in your personal life or your professional life. What's holding you back from taking action in your personal growth and development? And why am I covering this, you ask? Because I feel that if you aren't achieving your full potential or are any way misaligned in the work that you do, or in your professional life or your personal life, then you're probably susceptible to the early signs of burnout. If you are pessimistic or cynical in any way, be that in work or your professional life, then you're probably already on the verge of burning out and you just haven't realized it yet. So I want to spend the summer helping you to realize what are your goals, both professionally and personally, and knowing the difference. And then what's holding you back from taking action on those steps? What's getting in the way of you getting started? So one of these rabbit holes that I've gone down as a result of this, of the answers I've been getting back from people about what's been holding them back, and it's always coming back to different thought processes. And it got me interested in the neuroscience behind it and how our thought processes work, how our brain works. And this led me on to neuroplasticity and neurogenesis, how our brain has the ability to adapt and change, and how we can take control and adapt and change our brain to the thoughts we want it to have, to process those thoughts as beliefs and truths in our life. So today I might get a bit geeky and really scientific, but I'll try and keep it as short and concise as possible and keep it digestible. I don't want this going over your head. I want this to be a brief introduction to neuroscience, because I'll have a guest on in the near future who's going to delve a bit deeper into neuroscience. So I want it being somewhat on your radar so it doesn't all go over your head. So if you enjoyed this episode and maybe have a few questions for me, I'd love to answer them for you, or pass them on to my neuroscience guest. You can reach out to me at giveyourselfsomeleeway.com, send me a DM or a voice note on Instagram at eugene.leeway, or shoot me an email at eugene@leeway.ie. Thank you. And I really hope you enjoyed today's episode on unlocking the incredible potential of your brain. Let's take a step back and just for a moment appreciate that 99.9% of the population, I'm just going to leave out a minority because in some cases it is questionable and possibly debatable, but at least 99.9% of us have a human brain. And this human brain is an incredible organ with this ability to adapt and change throughout our lives. And that's where neuroplasticity and neurogenesis, understanding these two mechanisms, helps to highlight our brain's remarkable capacity for growth and transformation. So let's start off with neuroplasticity, because neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to reorganize itself, form new connections between neurons, and adapt existing connections. Now, before, it was always believed that the brain's structure and functions were relatively fixed after childhood, that your brain was a sponge as a child, and next thing it just got fixed, and there wasn't much you could do after you got to your teenage years and into your adulthood. However, there is scientific research that shows that the brain retains its plasticity throughout life, constantly changing and adapting in response to our experiences, our thoughts, and our behaviors. And I remember the first time I came across this was Tom Blay was talking about it on impact theory. And he was talking about neuroplasticity back in the 90s. And the fact that it took so long for people to start accepting neuroplasticity, and the fact that our brain can adapt and it can change was beyond me. Like, one of the key drivers of neuroplasticity is brain derived neurotrophic factor, also called BDNF. And this protein plays a vital role in promoting the growth, survival, and differentiation of neurons. BDNF acts sort of like a fertilizer of the brain, encouraging the development of new neural pathways and enhancing synaptic connections. While neuroplasticity is the rewiring of existing neurons, neurogenesis is the birth of new neurons. So, contrary to the long held belief again that adults cannot generate new neurons, that it's fixed, relatively fixed as a child, more studies have shown that neurogenesis, the formation of new brain cells, occurs in specific regions of the brain, such as the hippocampus, responsible for long term memory. Physical exercise, learning, and exposure to stimulating environments have all been linked to the generation of new neurons. So, again, getting out of your comfort zone, physical exercise, maybe learning a new language, or just getting out of your comfortable environment, your everyday autopilot environment, can generate BDNF and neurogenesis and create new neurons, new pathways in the brain. Again, just as I said, BDNF plays a crucial role in facilitating neurogenesis. It promotes the survival of the newborn neurons. Again, it acts as a fertilizer in the brain, and it helps them to integrate into existing neural circuits. The birth of these new neurons offers exciting possibilities for learning, memory formation, and cognitive enhancement. Now that we've covered neuroplasticity, brain derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, and neurogenesis, now that we understand all three of these, how can we use them to our potential and towards our personal development and growth? One way of uh, releasing BDNF is possible through the power of our thinking. Engaging in positive thinking, by having positive thoughts, this can reshape neural connections and foster a healthier mental state. Simply having more positive thoughts can stimulate BDNF in your brain, the fertilizer. And activities like exercise, learning, and embracing a new environment can create new neurons in the brain through neurogenesis. And you can feed those new neurons and help them to grow and take up more space in your brain to develop in areas such as your hippocampus, helping with memory formation and thought processing, simply by engaging in physical exercise, learning, and embracing new environments with positive thought. And putting this all together, if we can help cultivate a growth mindset with the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication, effort, consistency, and perseverance. All the challenges and opportunities that you have in life, if you embrace them, and yes, consider that failure may be a result or a consequence of your actions, but the more times you get back up and pursue your potential, if you have that growth mindset, you can achieve anything. Especially with, if you consider the fact that neuroplasticity can come into play and your brain will adapt to these new changes in your life. Maybe you could learn a new language in your 30s and your 40s. Maybe it's getting back into physical exercise. And maybe you haven't worked out in the past 10, 20 years, but you'd be surprised how much muscle memory you probably have, and that the memory retention that your muscles have once you get back into exercise, it's not long before they get stronger again. And the same with your brain, these new pathways. If you start making a routine of physical exercise, you can rewire neurons in your brain to establish these new habits towards a healthier life. Maybe it's in your professional career. If you start incorporating new habits and embracing this positive thinking and positive mindset, it might make your day a lot easier having these positive affirmations every day. And it stimulates new areas for memory formation and thought processing in the brain. So embracing these challenges, seeking new experiences, and stepping out of our comfort zone can stimulate the brain to rewire itself and form new neural connections. You can develop new skills, expand your knowledge, and achieve any personal and professional growth that you desire. So take a moment just to let that sink in. Neuroplasticity and neurogenesis offer profound insights into the brain's capacity to change and adapt. By harnessing the power of positive thoughts and embracing a growth mindset, you can actively influence the structural and functional transformations within your brain. Through practices like mindfulness, meditation, gratitude, and embracing challenges, you can stimulate the release of BDNF, encouraging neuroplasticity, rewiring neurons, and neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons. Your journey towards personal growth and self-improvement lies in your hands. And by taking control and nurturing your mind, you can unlock the incredible potential of your brain. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Till next time, take care.